Think about a specific action you are currently avoiding. Maybe it's sending that email to ask for a raise, or finally registering for a public speaking class. Picture the exact moment you have to commit. That physical hesitation, the heavy feeling in your chest, is a standard feature of the human brain. It isn't a character flaw or a sign of personal weakness. We face a frustrating modern reality. The experiences that provide life with meaning, career advancement, new skills, and deeper relationships all require us to enter this state of uncertainty. Mastering this psychological friction is the primary mechanical difference between a stagnant life and a life of growth. To understand why we stall, we have to look at our evolutionary history. The comfort zone began as a survival mechanism. For early humans, environmental predictability signaled safety from predators. The amygdala is our primitive alarm system. It equates modern uncertainty with physical danger, triggering fear when we face the unknown. Avoiding this discomfort trains our brains to stay small, and the boundary of what feels safe steadily contracts inward. To grow, we have to actively bypass this primitive survival hardware. Popular culture often advises people to take a giant, fearless leap. However, from a biological perspective, this is often counterproductive. This map illustrates the boundaries of capability. Beyond the inner comfort ring lies the chaotic panic zone. Here, the amygdala fires intensely, causing higher-level learning to shut down. The brain becomes too overwhelmed to process new information. Extreme leaps rarely build courage. Instead, they traumatize the nervous system, causing a permanent retreat to safety. The stretch zone is the optimal middle ground. It provides enough uncertainty to stimulate the brain without triggering a total shutdown. We can see this mechanic in a case study of a man terrified of public speaking. Rather than attempting a massive keynote, he joined a local storytelling event. He stumbled and stammered through his words, but he remained in the room. The stakes were high enough to create friction, but manageable enough that his brain stayed online, allowing him to process the experience. Because he stayed in the stretch zone, he adapted. Months later, he was leading workshops, successfully expanding his capabilities through repeated exposure. Courage is the gradual, mechanical expansion of this stretch zone over time. Sustaining growth in the stretch zone requires a system of mechanical exposure. Relying on willpower alone often leads back to the comfort zone. We achieve this through micro-risks, tiny daily actions that nudge the comfort boundary outward without alerting the amygdala's alarm system. You can also use a biological reframing hack. When you feel the physical symptoms of anxiety, state clearly, "I am excited." The body's physical response to anxiety and excitement is identical. Both involve a faster heart rate and an adrenaline surge. Changing the label you give that sensation allows you to manually override the amygdala's panic response. Stabilizing this growth requires external validation. Tell an accountability partner about your goals, and take time to recognize small wins. The goal is not to become fearless. The goal is to master the navigation of the zone spectrum. This requires us to unlearn the instinct that psychological discomfort is a warning sign to retreat. That sharp sense of discomfort is the clear physiological signal that you have successfully bypassed your primitive alarms. It is the mechanical evidence that you are in the stretch zone and in a state of active growth.